Chapter 8. The Hack Driver by Sinclair Lewis. The story, The Hack Driver, is an account of a master trickster, Oliver Lutkins, who isn't educated but can give the highly educated a run for their money. It's a hilarious tale that puts a city man against a countryman and shows that academic degrees do not guarantee smartness. Lutkins easily befools the lawyer, earns profit out of him, and packs him off empty handed. His tactfulness can be seen in the way he makes the young lawyer believe him. He does not let the lawyer doubt even once that Lutkins and Bill is the same person. Summary of the chapter. The narrator, a law graduate with honors, works as a junior assistant clerk in a distinguished law firm. Here he undergoes the unpleasant training period where his work is restricted to serving summons on people. This reveals the unpleasant side of city life to him, and he even considers returning to his native town where he can work as a real lawyer. One day he is sent to New Mullion, a village some 40 miles away, to serve summons on a man called Oliver Lutkins. This fellow is required as a witness in a case, but has been ignoring letters of the law firm. On reaching the railway station, the narrator is disappointed to see the muddy streets and the ill-maintained rows of wooden shops in New Mullion. The only saving grace is a delivery man who is about 40, red-faced, cheerful, a bit plump, and dressed in well-worn clothes. The narrator finds him to be a friendly and likable fellow. He tells him the purpose of his visit and tries to sound secretive about it. This delivery man claims that he knows Lutkins very well and offers to drive the narrator around the village in his hack to help in locating Lutkins. A bargain is struck at $2 an hour, and the narrator discloses his plan to board the afternoon train back to city. The delivery man brings his hack, which is more of a black box on wheels. The narrator is instantly touched by the hack driver's friendly warmth and reveals to him that he is there to serve summons to Lutkins. The hack driver proposes to begin their search from Fritz's shop, where Lutkins might have gone to try his hand at a game of poker. He very proudly tells the narrator that his business is called William Magnuson Fancy Carting and Hacking, and that people in the village call him Bill Magnuson. As the hunt for Lutkins progresses, Bill keeps talking about Lutkins' skill at being dishonest and gradually impresses upon the narrator that it is going to be extremely difficult to find him. Bill leads the narrator first to Fritz's and instructs him to stay behind, lest Lutkins should become suspicious and escape. Bill inquires about Lutkins from Fritz, who glances at the narrator and answers that Lutkins was at his shop a while ago, but has probably gone over to Gustav's for a shave. At Gustav's, too, the narrator lingers at the door, but they do not find Lutkins. The owner is annoyed at Lutkins as the latter owes him $1.35. However, one of the customers tells the hack driver and the narrator that he has seen Lutkins walking down the main street. Bill guesses that Lutkins has probably gone to Gray's for a shave, where he is again missed by only a few minutes. They look for him at the pool room, where they are told that Lutkins had just gone to buy a packet of cigarettes. Thus, each time they are very close to getting Lutkins, but miss him only by inches. After some time, the narrator feels hungry and suggests having lunch at a restaurant. Bill turns down the offer and convinces the narrator to bring lunch for him from his house. He charges him $50 for that. The duo sits atop Wade's Hill and enjoys the view while having lunch. The narrator understands that Bill was making some money in this manner, but does not mind it, as he too was going to bill his firm for all this expenditure. As they enjoy their lunch at the hillside, Bill gives details of the people of New Mullion and makes fun of a few of them. Such a lively description of the countryside catches the narrator's fancy, and he virtually falls in love with it. Once the lunch is over, they again resume their hunt for Lutkins. A friend of Lutkins believes that Lutkins has gone over to his mother, 3 miles north. Bill warns the narrator to be wary of Lutkins' mother, whom he describes as about 9 feet tall and 4 feet thick, rough tempered woman, fully trained in the art of swearing. Lutkins' mother denies having any knowledge of her son's whereabouts. Bill then demands to search the house and claims that they have a legal right to do so. The woman goes to the kitchen and comes out with a hot iron rod and frightens both the men, forcing them to beat a hasty retreat. However, they succeed in peering at all the windows as the house is only single story high. They also search for Lutkins in the barn and the stable but do not find him. All the while, the woman, with murder in her eyes, laughs at them. By this time, the narrator's return journey is due, and he and Bill head towards the railway station. The narrator is so overwhelmed by this visit that he keeps thinking about the simplicity and friendliness of the people of New Mullion. He thinks he has found a treasure and has discovered a new way of life. He also views the possibility of settling down there to practice law and is not at all sorry for not having found Lutkins. The next morning, everybody in the office is annoyed with the narrator and he feels that his legal career has come to an end, even before commencing. He is again sent back to New Mullion and a person who knows Lutkins accompanies him. The narrator feels sorry as the presence of another man with him would deprive him of the opportunity to loaf around the village one more time. At New Mullion station, the narrator notices Bill standing near his cart, talking and laughing with Lutkins' mother. He finds this strange, but anyhow points out Bill to the man who accompanies him. He tells him that Bill is the person who had helped him in looking for Lutkins. His colleague exposes the narrator's foolishness by instantly telling him that Bill was none other than Lutkins himself. When the narrator serves summons to Lutkins, the latter laughs at him. He mockingly tells the narrator to have coffee with their neighbor because that was the only family that had missed meeting the city boy the previous day. Theme of the chapter. Through the story, The Hack Driver, Sinclair Lewis wants to dismiss the commonly held belief that the illiterate villagers are innocent, simple, and unintelligent as compared to city people. He conveys that deception and smartness are as much a part of villagers as a part of city dwellers. Their seemingly simple looking folks can outsmart and outwit even the highly educated and qualified intelligent men from the cities. The entire story revolves around the idea that one can find all kinds of people at all places. Villagers can have tricksters like Lutkins, and cities can have simpletons like the narrator. A sub theme of the story highlights the view that what really matters in life is experience, which is a great teacher. The simple looking and uneducated Lutkins proves to be smarter than the narrator since the former has more experience. Message of the chapter. The Hack Driver gives us the message that appearances are deceptive and fully endorses Shakespeare's view that man may smile and yet be a villain. However, the writer conveys the message very subtly and artistically. The seemingly simple, innocent, and helpful villagers in the story are actually too crafty for the narrator to handle. The young city lawyer forms a very positive opinion of the villagers when he meets them first. He even decides to move to New Mullion and begin practicing law in this small place inhabited by wonderful people. However, he later discovers that all those he had met had befooled him. Thus, the story clearly imparts the message that one should not form opinions about others based on their face value. The ending of the story. The story, The Hack Driver, has a typical sting in the tail ending. The final revelation for the young narrator that the hack driver is Lutkins himself must have hit him hard. However, the sting is very deep for Lutkins also, as the trickster never dreamt of being discovered the very next day in such an abrupt manner. However, the manner in which the climax about Lutkins' identity unfolds is hilarious and amusing. Title of the chapter: The Hack Driver is an apt title for the story, as it is the hack driver around whom the whole story revolves and who remains the center of all action and attraction throughout the narrative. He is the first person whom the narrator encounters on reaching New Mullion. He is the one who offers to take him around the town in his hack. He successfully lures the simpleton narrator away from Lutkins in his hack and befools him easily. Thus, it is the hack driver and his tricks that are at the helm of the story. So, The Hack Driver is a befitting title. Humor in the story. Sinclair Lewis has a knack of creating humor out of ordinary situations. He employs a peculiar and uncommon manner of description to generate this type of humor. While describing the delivery man, the author's observation that he was thick about the middle evokes laughter. Likewise, the reader feels amused by the expression large box on wheels for the hack. Bill's comment about Lutkins that he had a talent for dishonesty too is an uncommon yet humorous expression. Again, the expression that Bill would have arrested Lutkins respectfully and jailed him with regret made the reader smile. The peculiarities of the people of New Mullion have also been described with a similar punch that forces the reader to laugh. The minister's wife singing the loudest at the church when most are in debt, and the lawyer not being able to put on both a collar and a tie on the same day, in spite of his wife's best efforts, evoke laughter. The description of Lutkins' mother is too funny. Here, the author takes the help of exaggeration to create humor. He describes the woman as 9 feet tall and 4 feet thick. The last laugh of Lutkins at the young lawyer makes the reader laugh pityingly. Finally, when the entire confusion about Lutkins' identity is resolved, one really feels like having a hearty laugh at the manner in which an educated man is fooled by a countryman. Characters in the chapter: Oliver Lutkins, or Bill Magnuson. Lutkins works as a delivery man at New Mullion Station. He is about 40, red-faced and rotund around the middle. He has a friendly and cheerful nature. He is good at winning strangers' confidence and thus very easily befriends the narrator. He is shrewd and an intelligent man, and very conveniently makes the narrator reveal to him the purpose of his visit. He is quick-witted, and on learning that the stranger has come to serve summons on him that he doesn't want to receive, he immediately makes a plan of hoodwinking him and sending him back empty-handed. He is very sociable. Wherever he goes asking about Lutkins, everybody conspires with him and joins him in befooling the narrator. He is a master trickster as well as a perfect businessman. He masterminds the plan of the narrator's failure in his mission, and yet takes him on a ride around New Mullion charging $2 an hour. He is fond of gambling and plays poker. In his own words, he is a very bad paymaster. In short, Lutkins is adept in the art of trickery and easily outsmarts an educated lawyer from a city. Let's look at another character, which is the narrator. As a student, The narrator was a hard-working young man who graduated in law with honors. He is fresh out of college and is unfamiliar with the ways of the world. Currently, he is working as a trainee in a law firm of repute. He has been assigned the unpleasant task of serving summons on people in the city, which has made him conversant with the unpleasant side of city life. He is occasionally beaten up by the people on whom he serves summons. That is why he does not like his job and very often thinks like a romantic idealist to flee from his hometown to practice law. During his visit to New Mullion, he exhibits his ignorance and lack of understanding about people. He trusts the first person he meets at the railway station and hires his services to trace Lutkins without cross checking with anyone else. He is so inexperienced that he believes every lie that Bill tells him. He does not sense even once that missing Lutkins by a few minutes at every point could not be a chance occurrence. He fails to see through Bill's plan and ends up being an object of ridicule. However, his visit to New Mullion surely makes him a wiser man, and he learns the basic lesson of not believing in appearances. Unfortunately, he learns it the hard way and thus earns the pity and sympathy of the reader.